received an email today from a client that I've been working with, and it made me want to do this video, because pretty much what the email they sent was about was the habit of negative self-thought or negative conversations, internal conversations that you have with yourself. Now let me read the email. This is actually a copy of the email the wife sent to the husband after reflecting upon some things. It says, "I realized I had viewed and reached to resolve problems as if they were insolvable problems, when they were not. Sometimes I generalized those problems and carried the gloom and doom of it, as in, it will never get any better." So that's a quote. She's quoting herself. It will never get any better. I walk into conversations that I have been processing and I'm nervous about with defensiveness and contempt, and then stonewall when you, speaking of the husband, responded in a manner I was afraid you would respond. Then I generalize that as in, things will never get better. And then in the end she says, "I am so sorry for breeding and contributing to these challenges and making them worse than they needed to be." So basically what she's speaking of is the fact that internally in her mind she was having these conversations with her husband, and she was milling these conversations over and over and over again, and she was pretty much worrying about things that she did not need to worry about. And people tend to do these things, all of us tend to do these things, because we have other things programmed in our brain. Things from our childhood, things from our adulthood that just cycle in the back of our brain, and we're so used to those being there and those thoughts being there that we really don't even pay attention to it. And then those things that we have been pre-programmed with from our childhood, they affect the way that we deal with other people in our relationships in adulthood. So I'm going to show you a technique to get rid of these things and to move them away from you, and to help you function much better in your relationships with other people. Now I'm going to tell you, one of the times I use this is that when I came to the realization that as a child I had been told the phrase that I did not need to start anything new because I would not accomplish it. So this is a person in my life who meant a lot to me, and this person could be a neighbor, an uncle, someone you respect, a teacher. They could say something silly to you and it sticks in your brain. But this is one of the ones for me. It is, there's no need for you to start anything new because you won't finish it. Now, when I first started out as a young man in my 20s, I remember this, and this cycled into my brain. But I wanted to prove that person wrong. So I went out and I accomplished a bunch of things. I did all kinds of things. And then I would bring it to that person, and when they responded, and they still would respond in that way, well, you know, blah, 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 you might not finish it, I would do even better, and I would do even better. So as I moved on through life, at some point that shifted, where I began to believe that if I started something new, that I would not be able to finish it. So I had to move that away from me and get it away from me and out of my mind, so that was not a belief that I had. So I'm going to show you this little thing that you can do, and it's a big deal. What I did basically, I took that person saying that, and actually I've taken that person's voice, and I have moved that voice away from me and away from coming towards me, and that voice coming towards me, because before I did this process, when I imagined that voice, the voice was coming towards me. I have taken that voice in my mind and I have put it out in the garage in my house, and the voice is going outside, so it is no longer directed toward me. Now this is important, that you hang on to the information. If what we're talking about is a thought or something that somebody said to you, you have definitely learned lessons from that. So you need to keep it and not forget it. So we're going to put it out in the garage where you can access it, and you can still hear it, but it's not coming at you, and it will not affect you as much. And you can make it quieter. You can imagine that you have a little volume knob, And that person out in the garage, you can turn that volume down so you can barely hear it, make it sound like a mumble. And then you can turn it up if you wanted to, where you could hear the voice. But preferably would keep it turned down. So, and then you still have all the experiences and everything that you learned from that event, from that phrase, that feeling that that had happened to you. So what you would do is, so you just kind of close your eyes and think about the thing, be it the phrase or the feeling or the event, right? That's just milling over in your mind. And you relax and you think about it. And you start to feel the way you felt when you experienced it. Smell what you smelled, hear what you hear, heard, taste what you taste, touch what you touch, and experience everything about it. The voice, the tones, the daylight that was around, the people that was around, the traffic that was around, whatever it was that was around. So you bring it all to you. And then for this example, I'm going to put it out in the garage. You can put it on a fence. You can put it out on top of the Washington Monument. You can put it on the front porch of a library 10 miles away from you if you want. But you take this event and you move it from inside of you and from going into your face. Now I'm going to move it out into the garage. Now, I'm going to have to practice at this for the next day or so. And if this cycles through my brain, it's got to be out in the garage. I'm going to turn the volume down so I barely hear it. The voice is no longer coming towards me. It's out in my garage. I can close my garage door, close the house door, close the bedroom door, and I'm in the bedroom. And the memory's still out there, but now it is far away from me, and I cannot hear it. If I want to hear it, if I need to experience it, to remember the experiences I learned, I can turn up the volume, and I can hear it, but still, this is not directed towards me. It's out in the garage, and they're looking outside, and the voice is going outside. So, that is pretty much it. Now, you can do this kind of thing with any negative self-talk you have, any conversation that you're having internal, any of these memories that you have. You can do this, and you're going to have good results with it. This is going to be a video under 10 minutes long, and you can do this, and you're going to be able to see results. If you don't, probably about half of you will see results and feel the results the very first time you do that. If you did it with me now, you're going to feel the results. Others, you have to do it a few times, do it for a few days, and then some people, you'll need a lot. But you'll need more. It's not a lot compared to some of the things that we help people with that they've been dealing with all their lives. So there's not a lot really, but it will take some time. Typically, when we set up sessions, we have to do sessions for long periods of time to find out exactly what the negative self-talk is that you have, find out exactly what the conversation it is that's going on in your brain. And then after probably about 4 to 5 sessions, we can get these things far, far away from you. And you will have the tools to do this on your own. What I've shown you here in 10 minutes, you'll get results from, but just imagine if you have a good 4 or 5 hours where we would sit down and talk about it, define exactly what it is that's bothering you, define 20 or 30 different things that it is that bother you, 100 different things that bother you, and work on those things. So I guess that's about it. That's all I wanted to show you. I think that this video is very well related to this woman. Because the problems that she was causing in her relationship was the negative self-talk and what she thought was going to happen, and these things were going to happen. She thought it was all going to be bad. She thought it all was going to be negative, but really it wasn't going to be. And once she stopped all the negative self-thought and projecting all this negativity, things were able to work out, and she was able to listen to what the other person was saying and move forward in her relationship. But that's it. Thank you for viewing. Make sure you subscribe. And